people. But it wasn't. Oh, we got a blow up thing here.
What is happening?
I don't know. I'm excited to see this.
What is it?
Here we go.
I'm talking about you guys, not them.
Hey, Miles. What? You have pictures? No more tampering and gerrymandering! 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 Woo! Out here today to protest the unfair practice of gerrymandering every year. So, what is the positive outcome is for the Supreme Court to overturn partisan gerrymandering nationally, so that voters are able to pick their representatives, not the other way around. So, in order to create
Arnold Schwarzenegger inspiration there.
There's one suggested way, which is to measure an efficiency gap to reduce that efficiency gap, so we minimize the amount of wasted votes. The most important thing is the Supreme Court to overturn partisan gerrymandering so we can get to restore democracy across America.
All about. Uno momento.
Kellan, have you ever seen a giant yellow hazmat in front of the Supreme Court building?
I have not. Although I did see this guy, I saw pictures of it. It was in front of Trump Hotel the other day when Gorsuch was doing a speech. So this is the second. He makes his rounds around DC, and we're gonna find out who the hazmat man is. The corruption cleanup hazmat guy.
Litigants who are trying to refuse to abide by federal judgment.
Hey, howdy. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
My name is Kellan.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Teddy.
Nice to meet you, Teddy. So we work for a website called Circa. We're doing a little Facebook Live right now.
Okay.
And we are very intrigued by your hazmat outfit and the corruption cleanup man. So I wonder if you could tell us what's the deal, what's going on here.
Sure, so I'm wearing a hazmat suit because I'm part of the crew with Cleanup Carl, who is our big hazmat suit guy here. And I work with a group called Mayday America. We're an anti-corruption organization that focuses on money and politics issues, gerrymandering, and voting rights. And we developed Cleanup Carl as a tool to take around the country and point out egregious violations of any of those issues, point out some of the biggest offenses of money in politics, the biggest lobbyists or the biggest campaign contributors, or in this case today, one of the biggest systematic corruptions of democracy, gerrymandering, which is toxic for representation. So that's, we've been all over the country. We started here in DC by targeting the Koch brothers of all people, some one of the biggest examples of money in politics you could find, and we've since been to Georgia, Alabama, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Maryland, and we have plans to go to New York and a whole number of other places.
You guys have been all over. Is it just one cleanup Carl, or do you have multiple Carls?
Well, it's just one right now, but the plan is to get a bunch, and hopefully we'll be able to send them all out over the country at once.
Okay.
So we're interested in having a whole squad.
Gotcha. Oh
Yeah.
man, the man is bringing Carl down.
Yeah, well.
Carl. I guess the cops are not pleased with Carl.
Yeah.
I know. I saw photos of him up outside Trump Hotel the other day with Gorsuch.
That's
So
right.
You guys as
yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah. So we're trying to make our mark all across the town, hopefully At a certain point, folks will really start understanding the narrative. When they see the big yellow guy, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Corruption's happening here. This is a serious problem.
Well, let's talk about gerrymandering just a little bit.
Sure.
Why is it important for Cleanup Carl to be out here in front of the Supreme Court on a day where they are hearing oral arguments on a gerrymandering case?
I mean, to me it's obvious. I guess maybe I have to explain it. So, gerrymandering is a huge issue that's basically politicians getting in between choosing their own voters, and that when politicians crack and pack districts and deprive voters of their ability to, really choose their own representatives through solid competition, maybe, the primary is the only thing that matters. All of these things are, terrible corruptions of democracy, and what we need is a system in which it's not dominated by special interests, not dominated by incumbent politicians, but one that works for everybody. And so in that case, gerrymandering is one of the biggest sort of systematic issues in terms of political corruption. And even though it's technically legal, folks don't always view it as corruption. We're here to try to change that narrative and show folks that gerrymandering should be unconstitutional, it should be illegal because it's that bad, it's that toxic. Yeah.
What's the next step for Cleanup Carl? Where's he going next?
So Cleanup Carl, we're working with a couple organizations here in DC, Restaurant Opportunities Center, on their One Fair Wage campaign. We're taking on the National Restaurant Association. It's a big, pocketed lobby group that's been trying to keep the sub-minimum wage in many states, and Rock United is fighting that here in DC, so expect us to see us around in DC. We may be heading up to New York next week to protest Mike Pence as he joins the Koch brothers to lay out the GOP's tax plans for the rest of the year, and then we've got a lot of other things that I don't know offhand, but definitely be looking out for us.
Yeah, awesome. And if you guys got a chance, and Cleanup Carl, of course, to sit down and have a conversation with folks like President Trump and Mike Pence, what would you say to them?
I think it's tough because some of the things that, appear so blatant to us may not appear so blatant to them, but hopefully the egregiousness of what we're doing, wearing hazmat suits, have a gigantic inflatable guy, we'll try to get through to them in a way that, articles in the press and criticisms from other political opponents don't. And we just try to sort of point out these issues and demonstrate the egregiousness of them to them. Yeah.
Thanks for talking to us,
All
Ted.
right.
I really
Thank you very much.
appreciate it. You guys have fun cleaning up Carl.
We'll do our best.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks
Bye.
a ton. Bye.
Okay, Kellan, summarize what happened here today.
Okay, final thoughts. So we were outside the Supreme Court where there was a rally with lots of speakers, including former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. How do I say his last name? Schwarzenegger. I can't say it. To rally, there were oral arguments going on inside for a very important Supreme Court case on gerrymandering. Just to summarize that case, Wisconsin Democrats were fighting what they considered partisan gerrymandering by Republicans in their district. What is gerrymandering? It's when a political party redraws congressional district lines to sort of tip the scales and favor the party that is in majority. And so you saw a lot of lawmakers out here today, both current and former lawmakers, talking about the need to get rid of gerrymandering in order to make politics more fair and more open and more competitive. And so we had a lot of protesters. We had Cleanup Carl, and it was all in all a pretty solid day here on Capitol Hill and in front of the Supreme Court. So with that, we're gonna go, and we'll see you guys next time. This is Kellan Howell with Circa.